Open your eyes, look around you. What do you see? A world of technology, convenience, and endless connection. But what if this reality isn't what it seems? What if we're living in a digital prison, subtly controlled by the very technologies we embrace? Our smartphones with their glowing screens and addictive algorithms have become extensions of ourselves. But at what cost? Long before the digital age, ancient civilizations understood the power of frequencies. They built monumental structures aligned with the Earth's energy grid, harnessing the power of natural frequencies to heal, to connect, and to transcend. The Egyptians, with their pyramids aligned to the stars, the Mayans with their intricate calendars tracking cosmic cycles. These ancient cultures possessed a deep understanding of the unseen forces that shape our reality. But somewhere along the way, this ancient wisdom was lost, suppressed by those who sought to control rather than to empower. Imagine a world without the relentless hum of artificial frequencies. For millennia, humans lived in tune with the natural rhythms of the Earth. They observed the intricate patterns of nature and recognized the underlying mathematical language that governs it all, sacred geometry. They discovered that certain frequencies, like the Schumann resonance, the Earth's own heartbeat, have profound effects on human consciousness. This wasn't mere superstition, it was ancient science, a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. Sadly, Tesla's vision of a world powered by free energy was stifled, his inventions suppressed by those who sought to control energy rather than to liberate it. We often think of sound as something we hear, but at its core, sound is pure vibration, a language that speaks to every cell in our body. The ancients knew this, using sound and vibration to heal the sick, to alter states of consciousness, and to attune themselves to the rhythms of the cosmos. Consider the ancient practice of chanting mantras or the Gregorian chants of medieval monks. In the modern world, we've largely forgotten the power of sound, relegating it to entertainment or worse, noise pollution. Cymatics, the study of wave phenomena, visually demonstrates the power of sound to create form. By rediscovering the language of vibration, we can begin to heal ourselves, to awaken our true potential, and to reclaim our place in the grand symphony of the cosmos. The modern world presents a stark contrast to the harmonious existence of our ancestors. Instead of the gentle symphony of nature, we are bombarded by a cacophony of artificial frequencies, a constant barrage of electromagnetic noise. Wi-Fi routers bathe our homes in a constant stream of microwaves. Cell towers rise above our cities, emitting a constant pulse of electromagnetic radiation. Studies have linked prolonged exposure to electromagnetic radiation to a range of health problems, including sleep disturbances, headaches, anxiety, depression, and even an increased risk of certain types of cancer. Some researchers believe that these artificial frequencies are interfering with our brainwaves, disrupting our natural rhythms and contributing to a widespread decline in cognitive function and emotional well-being. Imagine for a moment that your mind is not your own. Our brains are electrochemical organs, exquisitely sensitive to electromagnetic fields. For millennia, these intricate brainwave patterns evolved in harmony with the natural frequencies of the Earth. But now, this delicate balance is being disrupted by the constant bombardment of artificial frequencies from cell phones, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and countless other wireless devices. Studies have shown that exposure to these frequencies can alter brainwave activity, leading to increased stress, anxiety, difficulty concentrating, and sleep disturbances. Could it be that the rise in ADHD, anxiety disorders, and other mental health issues is linked, at least in part, to our increasing immersion in this invisible sea of electromagnetic radiation? The insidious nature of this digital assault lies in its subtlety. We are lured into this invisible web of frequencies by the promise of convenience, connection, and endless entertainment. Social media platforms with their carefully curated feeds and addictive algorithms are designed to keep us hooked, scrolling endlessly through a stream of carefully curated content. But what we often fail to realize is that we are not just passive consumers of this digital content. We're being actively molded by it. Algorithms, powered by artificial intelligence, analyze our every click, every like, every search query, building detailed profiles of our preferences, our biases, and our deepest desires. In this way, the digital world is becoming a hall of mirrors, reflecting back to us a distorted version of reality, tailored to keep us engaged, consuming, and ultimately under control. This constant immersion in the digital world comes at a profound cost. Our connection to the natural world, to ourselves and to each other. Our sleep patterns are disrupted, our circadian rhythms thrown out of whack by the blue light emitted from our devices. We become so accustomed to the constant stimulation of the digital world that we lose the ability to sit still, to be present in our bodies, to simply be. We substitute virtual interactions for real-life encounters, preferring the carefully curated personas we present online to the messy, unpredictable beauty of authentic human connection. This is the price we pay for our digital dependence, a slow but steady erosion of our humanity, a gradual numbing of our senses, a growing disconnect from the very essence of what it means to be alive. We can choose to reclaim our minds, our bodies, and our connection to the natural world. We can choose to break free from the digital prison and step into the fullness of our human potential. We live in an age where the line between the real and the digital is becoming increasingly blurred. At the heart of this digital transformation lies the algorithm, a seemingly innocuous set of instructions that dictates how computers process information. But these algorithms, far from being neutral arbiters of data, are increasingly being used to shape our perceptions, influence our decisions, and ultimately control our behavior. Consider the social media platforms that have become ubiquitous in our lives. These platforms, driven by sophisticated algorithms, no longer simply connect us with friends and family. They actively curate our social experiences, determining what we see, what we read, and who we interact with. And as we become increasingly reliant on these platforms for information, entertainment, and social interaction, we become more susceptible to their subtle manipulations. The true brilliance of this digital manipulation lies in its subtlety. We are not being overtly coerced, we are being seduced. Every recommendation we receive, every advertisement we see, every news article that pops up in our feed is carefully chosen to reinforce our existing beliefs, to confirm our biases, and to keep us engaged in a self-perpetuating loop of confirmation bias. The algorithms that track our online behavior are also being used to predict our future actions, to anticipate our needs, and to influence our decisions in ways we may not even be aware of. In this way, the digital world is becoming a vast social engineering experiment, with algorithms serving as the invisible puppet masters, pulling the strings of our desires and manipulating our behavior for the benefit of those who control the code. As technology continues to advance at an exponential pace, the line between the real and the virtual is becoming increasingly blurred. Virtual reality headsets transport us to immersive digital worlds. Augmented reality overlays digital information onto our physical surroundings, and artificial intelligence is creating increasingly sophisticated simulations of human interaction. While these technologies hold tremendous potential for entertainment, education, and even personal growth, they also present a profound challenge to our understanding of reality itself. As we spend more and more time immersed in digital environments, interacting with artificial entities, and consuming information tailored to our individual biases, we risk losing touch with the shared reality that binds us together as human beings. What happens when we can no longer distinguish between what is real and what is simulated? What happens when our experiences, our relationships, and even our identities become increasingly mediated by algorithms designed to manipulate and control us? This is the dystopian future we must confront, a world where the very fabric of reality is being rewritten by technology, where the digital and the physical merge seamlessly, and where the lines between our thoughts, our desires, and the will of the machine become increasingly indistinguishable. Throughout history, those in positions of power have sought to control not only our actions but also our perceptions. They understand that true control requires shaping the very way we see the world, influencing our beliefs, values, and even our understanding of reality itself. And one of the most powerful tools in their arsenal is the manipulation of symbols. Symbols are far more than mere images or icons. They are potent archetypes, deeply embedded in the collective unconscious, capable of evoking powerful emotions, associations, and beliefs. By controlling the meaning and interpretation of symbols, those in power can subtly influence our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without ever resorting to overt coercion. Consider the prevalence of certain symbols throughout history and across cultures. The all-seeing eye, often associated with divine providence or omniscience, has been used by secret societies and powerful institutions to symbolize their own overarching authority and control. The pyramid, with its hierarchical structure and association with ancient wisdom, has been adopted by those who seek to position themselves as inheritors of a hidden lineage of knowledge and power. And the checkerboard pattern with its alternating squares of black and white represents duality, control, and the manipulation of opposing forces, a theme often found in esoteric traditions and occult practices. These symbols are not mere coincidences, they are intentional markers placed in plain sight to convey hidden messages and reinforce the power structures that govern our world. Section 2. Decoding the Matrix. The language of symbols is subtle, operating beneath the threshold of conscious awareness, but its effects are profound. By embedding these symbols in our everyday lives, in advertising, entertainment, architecture, and even religious iconography, those in power can subtly shape our perceptions, reinforcing their desired narratives and conditioning us to accept their version of reality. Take, for example, the entertainment industry, a powerful engine for shaping cultural values and beliefs. Hollywood movies, television shows, and music videos are replete with occult symbolism, often presented in a glamorized or sensationalized manner, normalizing these symbols and their associated ideologies for mass consumption. From the prevalence of the all-seeing eye in music videos to the use of Masonic imagery in blockbuster films, these symbols are woven into the fabric of popular culture, subtly influencing our subconscious minds and shaping our understanding of power, control, and the nature of reality itself. The symbols are not always overt. Often they are hidden in plain sight, disguised as innocent design elements or seemingly random patterns. But to the trained eye, they are unmistakable markers, revealing a hidden agenda, a desire to shape perceptions and steer the masses towards predetermined outcomes. Section 3. Architects of illusion. Who are these architects of illusion? Are these unseen hands that shape our perceptions and manipulate the symbols that govern our world? They are the powerful elites, the hidden masters of industry, finance, and media who understand the power of symbolism and use it to maintain their grip on power. They operate behind the scenes through shadowy organizations and secret societies, their true allegiances hidden behind a veil of philanthropy and public service. They control the flow of information, shaping the narratives that define our understanding of the world. They fund the institutions that educate our children, shaping the values and beliefs of future generations. Their goal is not necessarily to enslave us physically, but to keep us mentally and spiritually enslaved, trapped in a matrix of their own design. They understand that a population that is unaware of its own manipulation is far easier to control than one that is awake and empowered. By controlling the symbols, they control the narrative. By controlling the narrative, they control our perceptions. And by controlling our perceptions, they control our reality. But we are not powerless in the face of this manipulation. By learning to decode the language of symbols, to see through the illusions presented to us, we can begin to break free from their control and reclaim our own power. Section 1. Reclaiming our birthright. The picture we've painted so far may seem bleak, a descent into a digitally controlled dystopia where our very thoughts are manipulated by unseen forces. But this is not a time for despair. It is a time for awakening, for within each of us lies the power to break free from this digital prison, to reclaim our sovereignty, and to reconnect with the natural frequencies that sustain and empower us. The first step is awareness. We must recognize the insidious nature of the digital trap, the subtle ways in which our minds are being influenced, our behaviors manipulated, and our perceptions distorted. Once we see the bars of this digital cage, we can begin to dismantle them one by one. We must become conscious consumers of information, questioning the narratives presented to us, seeking out diverse perspectives, and engaging in critical thinking. We must learn to discern truth from falsehood, to recognize propaganda and manipulation when we see it. We must reclaim our attention, that most precious of resources, and direct it towards sources of knowledge, wisdom, and inspiration. We must rediscover the power of silence, to disconnect from the constant barrage of digital noise and reconnect with the still, small voice within. For it is in the silence that we can hear our own thoughts, connect with our intuition, and access the deep wellspring of wisdom that resides within each of us. Section 2. The Great Awakening. Breaking free from the digital prison is not about rejecting technology altogether. It is about using it consciously and intentionally as a tool for empowerment rather than enslavement. It is about setting healthy boundaries, creating space for digital detox, and prioritizing real-world connections over virtual interactions. We can choose to support companies and organizations that align with our values, that prioritize ethical practices and respect our privacy. We can choose to invest our time and energy in activities that nourish our souls, that connect us with nature, that foster creativity, and that bring us joy. The power to break free from the digital prison lies not in fighting against the system, but in creating a new one. A system founded on principles of consciousness, connection, and collaboration. A system that honors the interconnectedness of all life and recognizes the inherent dignity and potential of every human being. This is the great awakening that is sweeping the planet, a collective realization that we are not powerless cogs in a machine, but rather powerful creators of our own reality. The digital age, for all its challenges, has also gifted us with unprecedented opportunities for connection, collaboration, and the sharing of information. It is up to us to use these tools wisely, to build bridges of understanding, and to create a future where technology serves humanity rather than the other way around. The choice, as always, is ours. Choose wisely.